One of the most basic types of demographic data that's useful to take a look at is population data. This is an example of population data from 5 different cities, looking at the 5-year estimates from the American Community Survey. That's what the ACS stands for over here. So we're looking at 2 different 5-year periods. So these are the 5-year estimates for the period of 2013 to 2017, as well as the prior years to that, the prior 5-year period of 2008 to 2012. And as you can see, in table form, it is kind of hard to look at this and tell anything from it. Lots of columns here, so one easy way is to have your consultant put it on a map. So I made this map in Tableau, showing the population using the size of the circle to show the larger population. Maps are useful depending on if geography is important. So if you are considering starting a new program or a new service, or developing an app to serve a specific area, looking at things on the map, especially if you're trying to decide which of these cities you might want to start in first, looking at that on the map can be very helpful. As many of you all know, New York has the highest population. Another reason a map might be helpful is if you are going to be presenting this data to a group of stakeholders who may not be familiar with the geographic area that you are presenting the data for. So for example, if you're working with people on the West Coast, they might not be as familiar with some of the smaller cities such as Richmond or Atlanta, but most people know where New York is and have heard of New York. So having it on a map really helps if you're presenting to a group of stakeholders who may not be as familiar with the geography. The percent change in population is another good metric to look at, especially if you're comparing the percent change in population between 5 different cities like we are here. Although this visualization may not be the best way to show it. So this is a map similar to the one for population data, only it's showing the size of the circle. It depends on the percent change in population. This might be better shown in a different type of map, such as this one here. This is a graph that shows both the population percent change as well as the population size. I put the population percent change on this axis here, so the height of the bars or the columns, whichever you prefer to call them, show the population percent change, and then the width of the bars or the columns show the population size. So for example, New York has the largest population size, it has the widest bar or column. As you can see here, it actually had a lower percent change over these 2 5-year periods than did the other cities. This graph makes it easier to see, especially with things like Atlanta and Boston, whereas on the map over here, those circles kind of look pretty similar in size. It's kind of hard to tell which one is bigger, but here on this graph, you can tell which one's bigger percent population change, which is useful if you're looking to see how the area is growing over time, if you're thinking of starting a service or program or business in that area. These are all good things to look at for that.